for someone who is easily attached, how do we balance between attachment and renunciation? And how do we get involved to help others as part of bodhicitta, yet not get attached?
I think other day also I mentioned, of course, I do not know the exact meaning of sort of English word attachment. Usually, I sort of understanding attachment. My understanding about attachment is, you see, some kind of desire. A little bit. The other day I mentioned blind energy. Similarly, blind sort of desire or closeness feeling. That's attachment. As I mentioned the other day, one great Chilean sort of scientist, the other day I mentioned. So, I myself, I'm Buddhist, but I should not develop attachment towards Buddhism. If I attached,
If I'm attached.
Buddha Dharma, then my mind become biased. The biased mind cannot be realistic because biased mind, you see, cannot see the other things because of the other reality or other thing, you cannot see objectively. Very much sort of related with your own desire. Clear? If may I say so, some of the hardliner Chinese communists, you see, they look, you see, Tibetan culture is something totally negative. Their mind, some kind of sort of biased, like that. One time in Australia, many years ago, one meeting with scientists, and then you see the people, you see each introduce themselves. So they just at the beginning, the one scientist, one Australian, he's introduced himself as I am one scientist who always defend about science to those people who have some different views about science. He ready to defend about science. So I think such person very difficult to accept about mind or about emotions. They simply feel just a brain. Clear? So some scientists, you see, they very open mind. Yes. As I mentioned this morning, grosser level of emotions, grosser level of mind is entirely based on brain. And nowadays, you see, some scientists now begin to notice through simply mere training of mind, some sort of concentration, think more about compassion. You see, that sort of training, that mental attitude actually effect on brain.
Mental neuroplasticity. It's called neuroplasticity.
Or that through meditation or through training of mind, actually that matter some change, sometimes increasing. So some scientists now gradually sort of showing open question. There might be some sort of very subtle energy which essentially separate from brain. So very close link, brain, neuron, and that energy. So sometimes brain or neuron change. the energy or certain mind, you see, change. Sometimes, one sort of the occasion in America, I talk some doctors, some physicians. I just ask, it looks, you see, sometimes, of course, obviously, you see, some physical, some sort of, some event on physical level, and some change brain level, and then some emotions. It's some different sort of mental sort of feeling or mental attitude, you see, develop. That's obvious. But some cases, without any sort of physical sort of, what's the day?
Movement.
Physical sort of the effect. Nothing. You see, simply, you see, they remain completely relaxed. Then all of a sudden, one thought come. So that thought then affect our brain, and blood pressure also is change. So looks sometimes this is some subtle sort of thought or mind come that effect on our physical level. So it seems such things there. So sometimes some movement on physical level, on brain level, and it affect thought. Sometimes thought level, some movement, some change, something happen, it affect on brain. I asked the doctor, few doctors there, then that doctors say, oh, it looks like that, but should not be. So that's biased, isn't it? They believe, you see, mind is simply the production of a brain. So it should not happen that. Nowadays, you see, genuine sort of mature scientists, not like that. And then also, 1979, my first visit Mongolia through Soviet Union in Moscow, then still communist Soviet Union. There I met some scientists, and I mentioned about the certain sort of consciousness about organs, right? We call eye consciousness or ear consciousness like that, or the sensorial consciousness, and then mental consciousness. I just mentioned the sixth mind. The scientists, the Russian, Soviet sort of scientists, they immediately reject. Oh, that's a religious vocabulary, religious thing. So these are, of course, scientists, but a little bit narrow-minded scientists. Whereas some my friend and some American scientists, one famous Richard Davidson, Wisconsin University, many years, my very close old friend, and also late Varela, Chile. All these and many others, these are really genuine, mature scientists. Some new subject come, they're open mind. Maybe true, maybe not. Open. That's very good. Unbiased. So look, objective. And only thing, investigation. Like that. So, So, you see, brain, we believe grosser level of mind or energy entirely depend on brain or neuron. As this morning I mentioned,